Hey everybody, it's Anthony, aka Trail Slipper, and no, I'm not on the trail today. I'm in the kitchen, getting ready for a week-long trip, well actually longer than a week, in the Adirondacks, and then I come back to work for a week, and then, or 2 weeks maybe, and then I head the long trail for a week. Actually, I'm only doing 100 miles on the long trail, so it won't be quite a week. If I really like the Adirondacks, I'm going to pop back over into the Adirondacks and do some more of those mountains. But anyways, so I'm preparing some food today. I did some of my, what did I do with my food? I did some of my famous not macaroni and cheese. And as I'm packaging up, I'm like, hey, I should have filmed this. So, already threw the wrapper away. I like this vegan mac and cheese from the store, and I've been taking the whole box out on the trail. Sometimes I put it in a baggie, sometimes I just throw the box in my food bag, and then I cook it on the trail. And I can do that with my alcohol stove. It seems to work out okay. But this time I said, why not cook it up, mix up the sauce so I can have my flaxseed milk in it that I use, and make my cheese sauce, and dehydrate it and package it up. And I'll film it while I'm at it. So I'm going to film this, how I actually go from start to finish cooking right now. Like I said, got some pasta right here. I did 4 boxes, and then here's my the cheese sauce that goes along with it. Not everybody likes this stuff. I do. A lot of times I'll just, when I'm on the trail, I'll just cook the pasta up, dump the powder mix in it, and it's fine that way. For me, anyways. So, anyways. I said anyways like 5-6 times now in like 2 seconds. Let's get this mixed up and get it on the dehydrator, which just finished washing the dishwasher. So, this is pretty thick. I don't think I've ever added milk to it before, or fake milk, whatever you want to call it. Oh yeah, it's still kind of clumpy. So I just use this Gardenmaster food dehydrator I got on Amazon. I got it because it had the digital display where I could set the temperature. I never set the time. I usually dehydrate stuff between 24 and 36 hours, depending on when I have time to package it up. I might let it run for an extra day if I don't have time to vacuum seal everything. So I'm not too picky about it. People put too much into it now. I guess if you're doing meats and stuff, you may want to be a little bit more pickier than I am. But I actually set all my stuff, because it says on here fruits and vegetables 135 degrees. Fish, what was it, 160. Like, seems like all your meats, jerky meats and fish is 160. Fruits and vegetables 135, nuts 105, herbs 95. So I'm not really doing, I guess I'm technically doing fruits and vegetables, but I always added 5 degrees to it. So I do everything at 140 for a minimum of 24 hours. Sometimes, like I said, double that when I have time to package it up. Tray down. And I always use these, I think these are called fruit roll-up inserts, because most stuff will fall through these, and these are, it's a pain in the butt to clean. This rack, you can see, gotten something I did without it, even through the dishwasher, it's still kind of on there. So the only thing I'll dehydrate on here is something that was going to be maybe big. I don't know, like if I was going to do zucchini or something. I would basically use these on everything. So according to the directions, this makes 1 cup prepared when it's done. After hiking 20 miles in a day, does that seem like what you would want to eat? So I do usually 2 cups. Whoops. Try not to get it down in there. I usually do 2 cups of food of whatever it is, if it's pasta anyways. This is some sticky pasta. So I'll put one portion per shelf or level, I guess. And you try to spread it out as much as possible. With this pasta, this isn't the one I usually get. I usually get the elbow one. They didn't have any. Ever since the COVID hit, finding what you want sometimes can be difficult. So I settled for this. Tastes the same, it's just a different pasta, which is very, very sticky. But I'm suspecting, at least I'm suspecting, that it's going to dehydrate quicker, but because they're clumping together, it may not. Usually elbow pasta really dehydrates nicely. And like I said, boy, the thing said 1 cup prepared, but I don't think that measurement was right, because there's, to me, 2 meals. And what I do too is I'll run this for, I don't know, till tomorrow morning before I go to work, and I'll open it up and I'll break up all the stuff that's clumped. And then, oh, didn't mix good enough. And then rotate it. I'll take the top one, will go to the bottom, and the bottom one will go to the top. I usually start this ahead of time. Like I would have had this done, I leave in less than a week, and I'm just working on food here. And the reason is because I just moved. Sold my house, moved out, I'm out in the country now. Then of course, I had a couple days off, and we didn't have any power because of that tropical storm that went through. So I'm even further behind because of that. I got a generator that will run the water, but not the hot water. So it was a couple days of cold showers, and because we have a well here. And I'm gonna have some, looks like I'm gonna have a lunch left over here. Or I could go back and add some, I guess, each level. But usually I do 2 cups. Let's go a little bit more. Just like that. Somehow I ended up with 5 of these trays. I have no idea how, but I only seem to have 4 of these. So for some reason it's flashing on the display. I don't know why. So I just hit temp, which is not 90. I put it to 1. Come on, 140, which I don't think you can make that on the display. I don't know why that's doing that. And I hit start. And she's off. In about 2 days, I'll have 4 more backpacking meals. So while we're at it, Foodsaver vacuum sealer. This is the V2244. I had a fancy dancy one that you opened it up. Oop, I keep my marker inside that, I forgot about that. They held the bags inside, you pulled it out, it had a little cutter, and all kinds of these other features, and I never used any of them. And it was like $150 or something. These seals will go, so, but I think they're all generic. You buy them by the 4-pack and just replace them in a second. But the other one was like $150. This one was maybe like 40, 50 bucks. So I have less features. The only thing I do miss is a little cutter. I just keep a razor, a razor knife, and lay it on the cutting board and cut it, because it's cheaper to buy the bags. These ones came from Walmart, but you can get them on Amazon. They come rolled up like this. This one's actually open. So they come, a roll, and you cut it to size. So I just put it on the cutting board and cut it with a razor, and then you seal this end, and then fill up whatever, and vacuum seal the other end. Basically, make sure you write on it before you vacuum seal. Oh, there's my knife right there. So I just keep one of these. It's what I use to paint on something red, obviously. So I just keep it, cut it, vacuum seal it, label it. I don't date them because I use them so fast. If you dehydrating anything with a lot of oil in it or fat, it dehydrates, but not great. Well, I say that like it's safe to eat. I do recommend keeping anything fatty or, like I said, with oils in it, keep it right in the fridge. Freezer, excuse me. I put them right in the freezer because they will go bad after a while. It might be a few months, 6 months. I don't know. So I did some vegan macaroni and cheese with this like Velveeta style vegan mix, and oh, it was so greasy and oily, and so it almost felt wet. So I had researched and it said to make sure, you know, it will go what's the word they used? Not stagnant, rank or something after a while, after 6 months or something. And so I just kept them in the freezer till it's time to go, and I throw them in my food bag, and then they will make it through your trip. So now, like this recipe, when I do the cheese mix, it's, you know, you can add a little, you know, vegetable oil, or, you know, that butter, fake butter that's made of vegetable oil, or any type of butter. I don't put that in just because it doesn't seem to dehydrate as well. So it's just basically keep the fat levels down, which to some people backpacking is the opposite. But just how I do it, just because I dehydrate it and I throw it in a box upstairs in all my other hiking meals. So as we start off packaging up the meal when it's all dehydrated, I just use, I would say, large sandwich bags, bigger than I remember when I was like, you know, my mother would pack up a bag lunch when I was a kid. And I use, sometimes if it's a sharp meal, when it's dried up, I'll actually wrap it in parchment paper too, but I'm gonna use this right off, so I'm skipping that step. Oops. So you just dump your food right in there. Make sure you get as much of this off as you can, because that's where all your flavor is gonna be. Fold it like so. You want it just down like that. What it does is this will suck up any grease, oil, or whatever, and also stops any of the sharpness from digging into the plastic bag. Seal one end. Actually, I double seal. Whoops, wrong button. Seal button. Not vacuum seal, but just seal. Like I said earlier, I don't have the fancy one anymore that cuts the bag, so I have to cut it myself. So just figure out what size you need. You can always trim it again later, just wastes the bag. And you want to write on this before you seal it. It's just harder, it's easy to write. vegan mac and cheese. Oops. There we go. And when sealing, you want the opening inside here, and this as flat as possible. If you get lines in here, it won't seal correctly. Double seal. There you go. Now I'll do that 3 more times. So anyways, Trail Sipper's version of a dehydrated meal. Each one of these ran me about $2.50. You know, add a little bit for the bags and the equipment, but I do this all the time, so it's definitely, everything's paid off. You know, if it's homemade, you probably might even be able to do it cheaper each meal, for less than $2, $3 a piece, whatever. In the store, that would cost, this right here would cost you $10 easily. Some of the meals I buy are $12. Can't control the ingredients, you can't control any preservatives. I hate eating them out of the bag. A lot of times I'll dump them right in my cook pot. I know some people have that, you know, don't mix food with your cook pot. I'm not one of those people. But anyways, I'll list all of the equipment down in the description. I got all this stuff on Amazon. It's not the greatest equipment. It's reasonable price, works great, haven't had any issues with it at all. And basically this was my first time doing something like this. I wasn't able to do this stuff in my old house because my kitchen was so small, and so I'll hopefully be able to do a couple more videos like this type of thing in the future. And if you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Have any questions, feel free to put them down in the comments, and I will answer them the best of my abilities. Anyways, this is Trail Sipper signing off. I'll see you out on the trail, and probably won't see you in the kitchen. But anyways, have a good one.